So let's say you found a skeleton. How would you tell it's a dinosaur? You personally, how would you decide?
Well, interesting question. I don't know. I'd have to do some research.
All right, hello everybody. I am here with Kip. Kip is now unmuted.
I'm now unmuted.
Yeah,
Awesome. You can't take any chances when I'm around.
it's true.
So,
I always leave you muted for at least the
true.
first bit.
Yeah.
Our first
it's
super
important.
chat of the day is from Tad is Mad. It's for $2 and it says, "Boo, Kip, boo." I was under the impression that Kip would not be making it today because Kip ignored all of my messages prior to just a few minutes ago.
We talked last night, and I told you that I would be here this morning.
Yeah.
And it was a busy morning.
That does not change how all of that is true, and it does not change anything about the fact that I thought you might not be here.
Right. But a Lannister always pays his debts. That's not me, but a Kip always makes his. I can't even say that, can I? I should probably just stop while I'm ahead. I'm here, and I'm here on time, and my coffee is hot. And you know what? That's what you ask for, and I have delivered.
I do actually specify that I would prefer that you be here with your coffee ready. So
yes, and I was.
Yep.
And the coffee was ready.
Yep. I would have been more comfortable with a little bit additional feedback earlier to make sure that everything on the up and up.
Okay.
Because sometimes emergencies come up, and I like to be able to plan for such things.
Hey, I have to tell you this. I had a dream. I now almost never remember my dreams.
Okay.
Almost never. Now, it's very sad. As I get older, it feels like I remember them less and less because when I was a kid, my dreams were always extremely amusing. I'd usually wake up laughing, which was pretty great. Except for those times when, they were terrible nightmares. But anyways, I almost never remember my dreams, but I had a dream. I dreamed last night and I woke up with some pretty vivid memories of it. And in my dream, I just had unmanageably long hair, like down to my butt, kind of long. And it was just full of knots. Like, it was crazy. So, that was
had that dream.
No, I've never had that dream. But, yeah.
All right. Well, I have my hard Mountain Dew Baja Blast. That's what I'm drinking today.
I have coffee, and there's nothing in the coffee.
There's not even coffee in the coffee? Oh, okay.
There's coffee in. I said there's coffee in the coffee.
No, I get it. This is delayed. Yeah. All right. So, for $2, Dutch Tunicate Official says Grandpa Kip Story Hour. Yes.
Oh, yes. I have many stories that I could.
I am sure that you do.
When you get to be my age, you have lots of stories about
the kids getting on your lawn.
That's right. So, when I was at I just got back, as you know, Dinosaur, from the Society of Biblical Literature annual meeting, which shares its meeting space with the American Academy of Religion. So it's technically the Society of Biblical Literature and American Academy of Religion annual meeting, but that's a lot to say, so I just don't say that. But I just got back, and I shared a room with my good friend of my channel, Dr. Joel Carrico, who I like to drink scotch with quite often. And he, kind of irritatingly, decided it was a good idea to volunteer space on the floor for a really young PhD student. This kid is like the same age as my oldest son. Bright guy, nice guy. His name is Nate something. But he's at McGill doing work on the Septuagint. But so he slept on the floor in our hotel room because I guess, well, I mean, I remember what that was like when you were a PhD student and you had like no money at all to do anything. He probably just decided he should go to the conference and, I'll figure something out. Let's sleep somewhere. It's Boston. Can find a park bench or something,
I would
sleep
not
in
sleep
a
on a park bench
hotel
in
lobby.
Boston in November.
No.
But
He's, yeah. So, but who knows? Who knows what this kid was thinking?
Maybe he could
So
find a trash
Joel
fire
took,
under a bridge.
maybe that's what he was looking for. But Joel took him, felt sad, took him in, and he slept on our floor. So, yeah, but it was interesting and kind of annoying. But anyways,
Becca Justiniano, who's been a member for 24 months, is at the Tetrapod level, says Godzilla, Mothra, and Ghidorah, and we will take a drink because that is in fact one of our drink triggers. Thank you very much. Zeralon, who's been a member for 25 months and is at the Tetrapod level, says, fun hangout last night. Too bad Kip abandoned us.
No, he didn't say abandoned us. He said abandoned
That's
us.
true. He did.
Which is weird. It's weird,
yeah,
right?
But I corrected it to abandoned. Yeah,
Good.
Kip, you did abandon us last night.
I did, because I was hungry. And I had just been streaming for 2 hours. So,
Unbelievable.
given the option, I was bailing on that show 10 times out of 10. So yeah. So I went and barbecued some chicken and made some pasta. And then I sat down, excuse me, and I watched the last episode of a show on Netflix that I started watching when I was on the plane called The Beast in Me. It's with Claire Danes and Matthew Rhys. Did you ever watch The Americans?
That does not sound like something I've watched.
Really? Well, you should. It's extremely good. It's
Cat is mad for $5, says, this is some damn fine coffee. Anyway, AIG wings in a bag. I want to go to SPL someday so I can troll Kip and Dan in person with a Mothra. Thank you very much. We'll take a drink.
That would be amazing. Tad, if you happen to be in the area of Denver next year around this time, then you'll see us both there.
Oh, and there's a Mothra at the end of that. All right. Well, we are here for a new video. So,
are we really?
Yes, we have a new video today.
Okay, I suppose.
So this is a video from the channel Signs and Wonders. Now, Signs and Wonders is a weird channel because on the one hand, it's got 60,000 subscribers, but on the other hand, it has about the same viewership that I do, and its live streams have an even lower viewership than I do. So
wow, that's terrible.
Yeah. No, so what I suspect happened is that there was some early success with maybe something going kind of viral, and then the future output did not live up to that hype. And so, yeah, that's what happens when you have a video that, like, one video that does super well is you get a whole bunch of subscribers that do not turn into regular viewers because they don't actually like most of your content. They just really like that one video. And that's okay. That happens.
Sorry, Tad is suggesting that he can be in Denver. But then he says, I don't think you want that smoke. And I'm telling you, dude, bring it. Because I will be surrounded by a shield of biblical scholar friends who will protect me.
Wow. Nothing says efficient bodyguard like a bunch of academics with beards who are all in their mid to late 50s. Into
the women 60s. Don't have beards, mostly.
Are you sure?
So
have you checked?
I said mostly. Okay. Right?
All right.
But
Ian Chiampi, who's been a member for 2 months and is at the Emnient level, says,
hey,
since the areas of tech, liberal arts, and education are my areas of research, should I add AI Slop Creationist to my list of things to refute? Yeah, feel free if you want to.
Yes, absolutely.
So there's a little history behind that. So one of the reasons I'm calling this guy an AI Slop Creationist is because a lot of the videos on that channel feature AI Slop images over him just talking about things. Mostly things that are just nonsense. The video that really got me to pay... So there's two things that got me aware of this and then interested to actually bother with anything from this channel. The thing that made me aware of this channel is, I suppose, the enemy of the channel, Steve McRae. was there to talk about how terrible trans people are. Now, we're not going to respond to that because, quite frankly, the trans people in my audience don't need to have me tell them that they're valid while Steve tells them that they're not. Because you already know that you're valid, and I know that, and I don't really care what that asshole has to say. So we're just not going to cover that. But that was what made me aware of it. And I did watch some of it, and one of the first things that happened was that the owner of this channel, Nick, who's on top here on the left, just decided to use homophobic slurs about Steve's former business partner, who, by the way, is a complete asshole, but not because he's gay. He's a complete asshole who happens to also be gay. Turns out, being an asshole is not actually correlated with your sexual orientation.
Is that? Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it turns out there are straight assholes, there are gay assholes, there are bisexual assholes.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Wow.
So while I'm okay with insulting him,
I get called an asshole quite often.
That's understandable.
Yeah.
So yeah, while it's
by my friends as well as foes. So
yeah, while it is perfectly fine if you want to say horrible things that are true about, say, that person Kyle. Using homophobic slurs, not okay. Nope. Metageeky Platypus Librarian says, Squad of Biblical Scholar friends, worst season of Super Sentai ever, even if it was the silly Japanese take on American Christianity, with a Mothra and a trans flag. I don't know. I might check it out. I might check out that Sentai.
I would 100% check it out.
Although I've heard that Super Sentai is actually coming to an end. They're gonna not produce it after another season or two. So,
oh wow,
the end of an era. It's been like 40 years or something crazy like that. It's ridiculous. Thing 1982, who's been a member for 1 month, says, as a trans girl who gets enough invalidation on TikTok, thank you for leaving out his hate. Yeah, you're welcome. I was telling Kip before this, like, there have been other times, especially with Answers in Genesis, where like one of their videos just takes a left turn into like trans people are horrible, and I'm just like,
isn't that kind of like on brand for them now?
Oh, it's super
feels
on brand,
like yeah. It just feels like that's the whole point.
Yeah,
that was always it's at the point now where it feels like this was always the point.
I think it was always at least part of the point, and it's certainly now most of the point, it seems like. Although not just transsexuals, they're also going after homosexuals.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
I don't think they understand that asexuals exist, and I think they're still iffy on whether or not bisexuality is even like a thing. But like, you know. They're always like 60 to 70 years behind on whatever social issue you care to name at best. Tad is mad.
No, I was just gonna say it's part of the apologetic playbook. You just either attack or refuse to acknowledge these marginalized groups, but then in the same breath turn around and defend all the pedophiles.
Well, I don't really want to get into it today, but we definitely saw some extra examples of that this week. So that's been
we did.
Fun. Pat is mad for $5 says, I am a complete asshole who is also bisexual with just a bunch of trans pride flags. Well, hey, you're welcome to be that here. As long as you're not too much of an asshole to the people here. In which case, I don't know. So, yeah. Then what got me interested in actually bothering to look into this guy's content was he made a video claiming that the armies of Pharaoh that had drowned in the Red Sea in the book of Exodus had been found. And this was just Ron Wyatt nonsense, including pictures of coral that are just coral, but are kind of round-shaped. So he said, well, that's a chariot wheel that's been coralized, which is not a word as far as I can tell, coralized. As well as you know, 19th century. It could be a fun word, but as far as I know, it's not a word. He also used images of wheels from 19th century ships. Yeah, maybe it will become a word.
It will become a word.
Yeah, and then also AI slop images of chariots with skeletons scattered around, including riding the chariot, but riding the chariot while sitting down, which is not how ancient Egyptian chariots worked. Everyone stood in an ancient Egyptian chariot. Generally,
wait, what? They thought they sat down in the.
Yeah, they thought there was a seat in the chariot. Yeah, well, the AI
Well,
did at least.
God, that just doesn't even
Yeah.
work. Like,
So
what
in
is the
case you're
point?
wondering, a chariot in ancient Egypt usually has a crew of 3. You've got a driver, you've got an archer, and then you've got the guy who's keeping the archer's arrows handy and is handing them new arrows. And that's primarily how an ancient Egyptian chariot is going to work. They're basically mobile archery
Wow.
platforms. And yeah,
DM Wing says correlated. That's pretty good.
Yeah, correlated. Okay. So I actually was just like, okay, so is all of this just Ron Wyatt backed up by AI Slop? And the answer is yes. That entire
Yes.
video was
Okay.
just regurgitating Ron Wyatt nonsense, for which there is no evidence. And then on top of that, adding in AI Slop. And a bunch of his thumbnails are AI Slop, and most of his content is just like,
what is...
hey, did you hear that there's a war in Israel? I guess Revelation is coming true. I'm like, oh.
What is the name of this channel?
Signs and Wonders.
Signs and Wonders? Signs and Wonders. And I ask because tonight is Budget Scripture Saturday, and we kind of, I mean, it feels like as the show develops, we're sort of falling into a niche here of bad AI Bible slop. So it feels like this could be right up our alley. Signs and Wonders.
One of the videos I looked into was literally just him reading from the Bible with AI Slop background images.
Yeah.
And that was boring and kind of dumb.
But that is boring and dumb.
Yeah.
So
I thought he would have some commentary, but no, it was just literally the Bible verse with AI Slop backgrounds.
This is very much, excuse me, sorry. This is pretty typical, I think, because I don't know about you, but I very often will get comments left on my videos, which are no actual independent thought, but just a string of paragraphs of biblical text and Bible verses in a wall of text.
You just remind me. I don't usually get just straight up Bible verses as a wall, but I do get walls of text. And I'll tell you what, if we can get to the 15 on that super chat goal, I have a couple comments from my most recent scripted video that went out that you guys might find interesting.
That's a good one.
Kip has seen them. Vishanti has seen them. Vishanti is not with us because she's not feeling well this morning. So if you want to hear those, I will read them out if we can get that to 15, which means we need 12 more. But I'm going to hit play. We've got Nick, who is the host of the channel, and this guy who's labeled Fad. I don't know if that stands for something. I don't really know who that guy is. Although, to be fair, I don't really know who this Nick guy is either. But they're going to be telling us about evolution.
He's got an avatar of
it's
a
dog
looking dog with a crown.
Yeah. And the Nick guy looks like an angel with a sword.
Yeah, really? You know what? Okay. I think I see it now. Like all I could see was just a
blur,
a mess
of
Well, in fact, as you were right, as you were talking about how much he's dependent on Ron Wyatt, I actually wondered if his avatar was Ron Wyatt's photograph.
Maybe it's an artistic depiction
the Ark of the Covenant.
No, maybe it's an artistic depiction of Ron Wyatt as an angel.
Yeah, it could be.
Could be, yeah.
Could be that. Right.
All right, here we go.
And we're live. All right. Welcome to the show, everyone.
Good to know.
Thank you. I feel very welcome.
The 4 billion, is he critiquing this video? This 4 billion year.
This isn't even a video. This is a single image, and while it does have some problems. Yeah.
Sure.
This is going to so this, especially this fat guy, is going to prove to be possibly dumber than the Matts. That being Raw Matt and Matt Powell. Which you might not know about, but they are famously some of the dumbest
I know
people.
Both.
Oh, okay.
Matt Powell and I've actually never watched anything from Raw Matt. But I do know that Raw Matt is an ordained Essene.
Yes, he is apparently an ordained Essene, which is weird given that the Essenes don't ordain things.
No, or exist.
Well, yeah.
I also know that raw mat might be the dumbest name since like the Liver King.
I mean, honestly, it sounds like a gay porn name.
It really does. It's right up there with Big John Steele.
Yeah.
Which is also an internet name.
But, okay. Tad is mad for $5 says Vishanti needs to reject the frailty of flesh and embrace the surety of steel. This is correct.
Yes.
You can't have sinus problems if you just don't have sinuses, because your oxygenation is handled by a special oxygenation machine that you've replaced your lungs with. AIG, duffel of dongs. Yes, we'll take a drink for that. Thank you very much. Indeed, a duffel of dongs.
Also, Vish requires in real life, she requires a steady, she requires food like all the time. So it makes life difficult, I think.
That's probably true, yeah. Dane, 1982 for $5 says they could start a second channel about predatory men in the Bible. Call it Signs and Wonders. AIG is a purse of putrid peckers. Thank you very much. Yeah, they could. There certainly are a lot of misbehaving men in the Bible. Although, to be fair, a lot of times the Bible is then saying, and they shouldn't have been. So, you know.
To be fair, but not always.
But not always, no. Not nearly enough.
Or, you know, misbehaving for, like, totally the wrong reasons. Not, you know, killing this person was bad. It's more like this was this was an affront or a transgression against the purity of this place or this object, which is the bad thing. Yeah, that's the problem. All the rest of it's fine. So it's you know, it priorities, right? The Bible seems to have some priority issues.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
Arrow Dodger says, is that Vish in the top right? She's kicking ass. Let's just go with yes. That's definitely Vishanti. That's where she is right now. She's on
top right.
Yep. On the top right, and she is she's killing the hordes of the Great Devourer.
How many people are going to be watching, though, their dogs? Because I didn't really promote it, but we got dogs with us, and we are talking about evolution.
We have dogs with us.
Yeah, apparently they have their dogs there, which, I mean, hey, that's
well, I mean, why say that when you're not on camera?
Right? Show us the dogs.
What the hell?
I want to see the dogs. The dogs are almost certainly better people than either of these two.
You know, my full-sized pet pig is just in the hallway over there.
Wow.
With me. So yeah.
And you're not going to show us?
No. She will stay in the other room. So we call her Atalaya.
Wow, that's a name. I'm going to hit play.
And she's 320 pounds.
Wow, that's pretty big. And you said full size. Yeah, you meant it.
I meant it.
Prostetnik Volgan Jeltz, who's been a member for 11 months, is at the tetrapod level, says, cheers for Dio. I think you mean Dino. Our Golden, who is 10 today. Oh, no, you mean they're your dog. Cheers for Dio. I'm not sure. Our Golden, who is 10 today. Well, happy birthday to your dog. There's a dog and some beers, so that's awesome. Sorry, nice. I screwed up reading that so badly. Tad is mad for $5, says, top right is better than top left. Am I right? Correct. You are correct.
See, Dagon, the abomination of the Philistines, is always in the room with me. Oh, there he is. Yes, but he's almost there. He is. Did you see him? He's
I see him right
in the
now.
background there.
There he is.
Yeah. See, hi, buddy. He doesn't get on camera very much though, because he won't jump on my lap anymore.
Aww.
He's too grown up for that, apparently. You know, it's sad when the kids grow up.
Yes. And get arthritis in there.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me. I'm a very intelligent individual, and I thought
I want you to keep that in mind. This guy's a very intelligent individual.
So I'll say, you know, Dapper, I've been on a lot of shows.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I have never said when introduced by my host on a show is, I am a very intelligent individual.
Yes. Okay, look.
So
I am not one to very often paraphrase Margaret Thatcher. However, I will do it right now.
okay.
Being intelligent is kind of like being a lady. You have to tell people you are. You aren't. Yeah.
Yes.
If you're going around saying, "Oh, I am very smart," that's really
It's
not.
almost like, going around saying I'm a polymath.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
It's the same effect,
Yeah.
right?
You get other people to call you that when they've been convinced that you are in fact a polymath.
Yeah, true.
It's like I don't go around saying I'm a linguist. Other people say that, and they're lying.
They say that, and
But,
it's not true.
Not true. Naromdaputz for $5 says, "You thought it would be Dino, but it was him, Dio or Dio." Yes, I did think that. You're right. I thought it was just a missing N, and it was not. Ray Lagatubella for $2 says, "Atalaya, that means watchtower, as in Jehovah's Witnesses." Oh. You gonna name your dog after the
No.
J-Dubs?
No, it
Okay.
really doesn't.
Okay. I don't know. Tad is Matt for $5 says, "Hello, it is me, the very intelligent individual. I am smart. SMRT." Yes, that is the energy this is giving off here.
At 100%, yes.
And remember, we are I think 7 super chats away from getting some of the one of the weirdest comment chains I've ever received on any of my videos. It is absolutely bizarre.
What was happening?
I don't actually know.
I think it's probably fair to say that at least one of you was high in that comment exchange.
Well, I know I was, so I think it was possibly both of us.
Right? Yes. I feel like he might have been higher than you.
Possibly.
I'd give my take on this whole evolution nonsense so we can get to the bottom of it.
Cool. I'm just gonna
Getting to the bottom of
promote
it.
this.
Ray Lagatubella for $2 says, "The Thatcher quote sounds transphobic in hindsight." It does. But it is one of those things where it's like, there are certain things where, like, if you have to go around proclaiming that you're this thing, whether it be intelligent or polite or kind or something like that, chances are you're not. And people who go around saying that they are various things, often it's because people don't perceive them to be that way. Now, sometimes people don't perceive them in error that way.
In fact, it is a sincere form of projection, but in reverse, in some ways.
Rejection?
When somebody, I don't know. Or like when somebody goes around talking about being a stable genius. I mean, we just know that is objectively not the case.
Willpunk says, "I'm doing a martial arts only run in Elden Ring." Well, first of all, good luck. Second, I assume that you were doing that with the DLC enabled, because otherwise I don't think that would work. But please let me know how that goes, because for one thing, I do not like how close you have to get to everybody to do martial arts in that game. I like to stand back. So there's a reason I like pole arms and halberds and whatnot.
Just really quickly in Discord and see if someone else might join.
Oh, no problem. No
Spoiler
problem.
alert, no one joins.
Man, if I send you,
I'm gonna go as past limit here.
Yeah, Tommy.
No.
Atheists and evolutionists, don't they?
Oh, atheists and evolutionists.
Yes, they do.
Wow.
So once again, we are. We've switched to Mr. Garrison.
Hey,
I like the dog better. For one thing, the dog was framed
preferred
properly.
that.
The dog was actually visible, whereas Mr. Garrison is just mostly off screen. Although I guess the puppet, not even that's off.
Mostly visible.
Yeah.
So.
So they obviously we're conflating people who accept evolution and atheists. Those are not the same thing. Many people who accept evolution are not atheists, and I'm aware of at least some atheists who have not accepted evolution. Fred Hoyle comes to mind as one of the primary examples.
That's pretty interesting. Yeah.
Let's see. Prosetnik Volgangels for 56 says Dio is named for the one and only Ronnie James with horns. All right. And then Metageeky
Nice.
Platypus Librarian for $5 says, appeasement to hear the comment chain, AIG is a leaky barrel of erotically carved pickled cucumbers in a very salty, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, brine. Those were words I was not expecting to hear. Tad is mad for $5.
Don't fall for it. Do not fall for it. Anyone.
Tad is mad for $5 says, I, notably, love Kip Davis.
not true.
Everyone, look at how nice I am towards Kip. Give me props for this with a Godzilla.
No.
Take a drink.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
And also, we'll take
Don't
one from
fall.
Metageekies. Which means we are only 4
Don't
super
fall
chats
for
away
this Machiavellian
for
nonsense.
one of the strangest comment exchanges ever on the channel.
Yes, they. Oh god, that's a horrible picture. Why isn't it showing my face?
He's just now figuring this out. Okay,
Okay,
we're back to the dog.
Me, guys, personally, I do not.
That's his
believe in-
face, apparently.
Yeah, look, he actually is Mr. Garrison, which is a weird thing to do, since Mr. Garrison is not someone who I think Fad here would like to identify with.
Darwinistic evolution. That is evolution, or what would they call it? Macroevolution. I do.
He's just
believe-
throwing out all the words
Yeah,
that
so
he knows here.
This is one of
isn't he?
the red flags here. Is he is just tossing out terms that he's familiar with from probably creationist material and doesn't even understand the creationist material to the extent that he does. But we're still going to critique this image, which is it's from the only place I can find it online is a place called Visual Capitalist. I have no idea what that source is. But it's titled Human Evolution from Protocells to People. And it's the thing that it says up top is discover the major milestones and key adaptations that have shaped the course of human evolution. The following graphic illustrates how humans have emerged from 4 billion years of change. Now, there are some problems with this image. For one thing, I don't like how orthogenic it is. It looks like it's like, oh, evolution is trying to get to people. There's also a few places where like I would use different organisms, or organisms are placed in places where they don't actually belong. But overall, it's not horrible. Like, if you looked at this and internalized this, you would have a few misunderstandings about human evolution, but you probably get the overall idea mostly okay.
Sure. I mean, I don't know anything about anything except the Bible. But like this looks to me like good, pretty good, like primer level explanation of something that's super complicated.
Yes, it is very complicated. And Pega J points out it resembles a Nat Geo graphic to my eye. And yeah, it does kind of look like something Nat Geo would put out. Nat Geo, of course, has had their fair share of gaffes when it comes to evolution, but they're overall pretty good.
Yeah.
For a
Not
pop
just
sci
evolution.
Yeah. For a pop sci outlet, by the way, not for peer-reviewed stuff.
And like microevolution, I guess you could call it, where it's like the differentiation of species.
The differentiation.
He still didn't get it right.
No.
He tried 3 times and he still didn't get it right.
It's differentiation. Rail got to Bella for $2 says Mr. / Mrs. Garrison is one of them with a trans flag. That's true. Or at least was. I don't actually look. I haven't been keeping up with South Park.
The new South Parks.
But as of last I saw, Mr. Garrison had transitioned and then untransitioned and was now Mr. Garrison again, and I don't know if that has persisted. So yeah, I don't know. So if I'm misgendering the Garrison teacher character as of now, I'm sorry. Let me know in the chat or in the comments which one it is, and I'll try to get it right. Although, given that it's a fictional character from a comedy show, I care less than I would care if it were a real person.
But by the way, Katie Lewis, I notice is in the chat. I just need to say that I did get your email. I'm terrible. I'm generally terrible at responding in a timely fashion to emails, so people should please not take that personally.
Time to cancel, Kip.
No, don't do that because that will make me sad. But yes, it's on my radar, and I'll be sure to respond this week. I promise. Promise.
You might be lying.
I'm not lying. I am incapable of lying. It's true. It's not something that I do well.
All right.
So like dogs can like be
Yeah.
bred into like other kinds of dogs, right? We know that. Obviously, we can see that and test that. It's verifiable.
Even
So I want to point out he's misstating what microevolution is by just saying within kinds, and there's no such thing as kinds. Microevolution. This is for Kip's benefit because I know my audience knows this.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate this.
Microevolution.
This is the kind of stuff I'm here for.
Exactly. To get bullied into learning things.
That's it.
Microevolution.
Mostly the bully part. Yeah.
Microevolution is evolution at or below the level of species. Actually, it's primarily just below. So if no speciation has occurred, then you're doing microevolution. If speciation has occurred, now you're doing macroevolution. Now, you might say, but aren't species fake? Yeah, just like the distinction between micro and macroevolution is ultimately fake. It's just there for the convenience of humans. It's not a real thing in the real world that you can go find.
the human race can do it.
Yeah, cats can be different cats, dogs can be different dogs, humans can breed with different humans. So,
and now we're going into some pretty racist territory because the only way in which you could think that humans being able to breed with other humans would be in any way significant is if you thought that humans actually had biologically real races, which they do not, by the way. So I'm just going to take a drink for just, going casual race realism here. Because nothing says I am very intelligent.
I'm distracted by the chat. So
yeah, nothing says I am very smart, like just casually being a race realist, which is one of the dumbest takes you can take about human biology.
I definitely believe in like interspecies evolution. What gets me, and I'm about to.
Well, that's macroevolution. So he's already said he believes in macroevolution. And for $5, Joshua Geese says, so which one is the Goldilocks evolution? I don't even know.
What is that?
I have no idea how to answer that question.
Okay.
It's the evolution where everything's just right.
Right.
It's not too hot, it's not too cold, it's not too hard, it's not too soft. Just right.
Explain this chart that you guys see on the screen in a second. But what gets me is the whole Darwinistic view of interspecies, not interspecies, species to species.
So reality. He's talking about reality, right?
Yeah. And also
what gets him is reality.
Yeah, he doesn't like that.
Every time. No.
He's also just pointed out that he's okay with interspecies evolution, but then also that he's not, because he's looking for the word intraspecies. Right? He doesn't understand the difference between inter and intra. Inter meaning, between different species. Intra meaning within one. And to be fair, a lot of people get this wrong. Like, you'll see, like the writers on Star Trek get this wrong all the time. I'm like, there's an intergalactic war. So one galaxy is at war with a different galaxy? No, you mean an interstellar war. Or an intragalactic war. Intergalactic would mean different galaxies are at war with each other, which is not a thing that happens in Star Trek ever.
No.
So, like, I get that's a
true.
tough thing to talk about, and people get the meaning of that prefix wrong a lot, but, like, yeah, we're clearly not...
And it's awkward. Let's get real. Intra anything is just more challenging to say. I think that plays into it.
It could be,
but
just go for interstellar if you're doing the galaxy type.
That's probably fair, right? I wasn't thinking about that.
For species, you can just say interspecies or within species. You don't have to say intraspecies, which, as far as I can tell, is not actually a word. Just say within species or below the specific level. You want to sound all fancy.
Changing evolution, so like the whole thing, like we became humans, but at first we were like some weird fish blob.
We became humans.
Yeah, that's a really weird way to put this, because like I don't normally use first person plural when talking about my ancestors. Right? Like,
No.
I wouldn't say like I don't know, we got to North America via this method. Like I would like my ancestors, my family, my forebearers. I would not use the first person plural for that. So this is one of those other things that creationists often do is they'll talk about evolution as if it's a change to individual organisms over their lifetime. But that's not what it is. That's what we call ontogeny. And evolution is not ontogeny. Now, evolution can affect your ontogeny, right? Because evolution can affect the way in which a creature grows from a single, like single cell zygote all the way to an adult. But that whole course of one's life is not evolution. That's the change of an organism. Evolution is a change in a population over time. Metageek and Platypus Librarian for $5 says, but Dapper, in the original series, the Kelvins were planning on invading the Milky Way from Andromeda with the glasses emoji. Yeah, and they didn't, so there was no intergalactic war there. I remember the Kelvins.
Is that true?
Yeah, you don't remember the Kelvins?
No, not at all.
Oh my goodness.
The original. I watched the original series when I was stuck at summer camp, working at summer camp when I was in high school. And it's the only thing we had to do in our off time. But seriously, I don't think I've seen anything since then.
Well, here's what you got to do.
So I mean, there's many things that I have forgotten. It's the only thing we had to watch.
Once we're done with the Godzilla watch, we're gonna go move on to Star Trek.
Okay.
And TOS, I believe, is going to be the third series that we watch.
Are you doing it? Are you doing it diachronically?
Well, I mean, it's impossible to watch a series in any other way, as near as I can tell. But we're doing it in chronological
it is the
order.
original. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So
diachronic just means across time.
Yes, but I mean, I don't know. In my world, there's when you have a set of when you have an anthology of works, you can either just read or consume them in the order in which they appeared, or you can consume them in the order in which they were set, or within the universe that they took place. So usually we call one synchronic versus diachronic. So,
hey, that's diachronic and synchronic are terms that come up in linguistics.
Yes.
Let's see. Yes. Jace, the blind is that pretzel? I can't read the whole thing. Blind pretzel maker. There we go. There it is. Says intergalactic, planetary, intergalactic. Yeah, there's a lot of terms there. And Star Trek is iffy on them. To be fair, sci-fi is generally iffy on them. Right. Let's see. Then Tad is mad for $5 says, I have become human, the destroyer of worlds. Oof, that's too accurate. Naramdaputs for $2 says, Polystellar Galactic War. All right, so we are now at 15, which means Kip, you're halfway to being unleashed, although now it looks like we're at 16 because Sapphire Rip Names Light for $5 says, narrator's voice. He was in fact not a very smart individual. Mothra emoji.
Let's be fair. He said he was very intelligent.
Maybe he's just vastly
I know, it's synonymous, but,
Okay, so this is a comment that I got on my The Creationist World of Tomorrow is excellent. Just Idiocracy video. So, someone going by Tea Time says, wasn't this talking and little cunning dinosaur emoji in the Garden of Eden? Hands to face screamy emoji. Such twisted thinking. Don't you ever give up? Anyhow, WT:10, dinosaur with silly hat and big mouth, 0. I think that's supposed to be World of Tomorrow 10, dinosaur with silly hat and big mouth, 0. So I just respond, are you suggesting that I'm the serpent who told the truth in the Garden of Eden? It's like, that's all I could get out of this, is like, am I supposed to be the actual serpent from the Garden of Eden, which is often identified with Satan? So then the response that I got was, this came many hours later. Also, Vandelli 1998 for $1.99 says, is Star Trek the original series, the animated series, included in that? I think by that what you mean is the animated series, and the answer to that is yes. I am planning for us to watch the animated series. After the original series and before sorry, the original series of movies. Right, so Tea Time responds, at Dapper Dinosaur, ops. Didn't think you'd actually read that, but now that you have, ellipsis, I tried to hide it by using a little picture of a dinosaur, but forgot we now have AI, so you probably cheated by asking. Although, maybe you are AI. Was that a compliment? Don't know, space spontaneous. Anyhow, I've often wondered how that conversation actually went, since the Bible is so brief and concise about everything. Now I have a better idea, light bulb emoji. So if anything, thanks for that. By the way, the quote truth about having an immortal soul, that was a masterpiece, winky emoji. I have no clue what to do with that. I don't even know what this person is trying to say to me. I would think that maybe it was like an AI response because they're
kind of right. Just
is,
because of how random
AI responses
it sounds like a bad AI. But
that's the thing. AI responses sound more coherent. I can usually figure out what the point of the message is supposed to be, even if it's not well supported and it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So, like,
yeah,
that was
the thing.
Yeah. And my response was just like, I don't think that conversation actually happened. That being the conversation between like Eve and the snake, because it's not a historical event that happened. So, yeah.
That is true, Prixie Purple. The Bible isn't brief about a lot of things, like especially the really, really important things, like who descended from whom, and also how the temple and the tabernacle were constructed. And
I'm going to say I actually appreciate the exacting detail in the tabernacle and temple layouts.
I certainly do too,
because what that means
that's obviously
really
the
cool
really
3D renders
important
of
thing.
it.
Yeah, but that's actually the really, really important thing.
Yeah, there's actually a couple channels that are run by some like Christian groups who have done some really, really high quality 3D renders of both the temple and the tabernacle. And at one point, Vishanti and I just sat around watching them because, like, whatever else I might disagree with those people about, their 3D renderings of the temple and the tabernacle were absolutely awesome.
Yes.
And so, that's props.
Hey, when I was a PhD student, one of the, and this was in the early days of doing VR. One of the projects at UCLA was building virtual reality environments for like some of these ancient landmarks. So Robert Cargill, who is at the University of Iowa and runs the Bible and archaeology, he did his PhD at UCLA a few years ahead of when I was in my PhD program. But that was part of his PhD project, was building this VR environment of the site of Qumran. Another one that they had done at UCLA was the Jerusalem Temple, and that was something that students used to have fun doing, was like wandering around the temple. And there was actually, you could actually get up to the roof and jump off, which was pretty cool. But yeah, I know, right? It's
I've definitely had VR induced vertigo before. It's real.
Really? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I never got to do it.
I have a VR headset that I don't use terribly much, but like,
okay,
if you're in there and you're looking down at a drop, it's a little you get some butterflies. Tad is mad for $5 says, I've spoken English my entire life. This is not English. No, it's not. Prixie Purple also asks if comments are comments on that video disabled now. I did not disable them. If you're looking for a specific comment, it's possible that whoever sent it deleted it. It's also possible that a comment might have, like, if you're looking for your own comment, that it might have been captured by whatever like auto moderation bots YouTube has. Another option is, if you're not seeing it, try switching the order from top to newest, because top comments, sometimes it omits some of the comments. So if you're looking for a specific comment, go to newest. If no comments are showing up on that video, then please let me know, because that's a problem, and I need to look into that. Yeah. So.
By the way, our W Dodger has asked what year that was. I was in my PhD program.
So 1973.
Shut the fuck up. Yeah.
Here's our one.
Yeah.
Unless, of course, we get 13 more super chats.
Did you hear me try to pull it back in?
Mm-hmm.
That one doesn't count. I don't think I got it all the way out.
It absolutely counts.
It was not. Nope. No, I don't.
Hey, get the chat to send you 13 more super chats, and you're fine.
Yeah, okay. I was in my PhD program from 2005 to 2009. It was early. It was early in my PhD, so that it would probably have been like 2005, 2006 is my guess. But
that's around when I was in the Navy.
By the way, I mentioned this to you privately, but Jordan Jones, who is currently running the Bible and Archaeology channel, which is an official arm of the University of Iowa, by the way, which is pretty cool. He will be reading Hebrew with me this week on Thursday evening.
I suck at reading Hebrew.
You do, which is why I never ask. So
yeah. But I am better than some of the people that I've seen that try to do like apologetics about the Old Testament.
You are better than some people who like to correct me on my usage of Hebrew. This happened to me 2 days ago. You've heard of this guy, Donnie Deals, Standing for Truth, was pretty sure I didn't know what the hell I was talking about when it came to the
Donnie Deals, who doesn't know any Hebrew, as near as I can tell.
Yeah, but apparently he was quite certain that I don't know what I'm doing.
Hey Donnie,
but
if you want to tell me how wrong Kip got all of his Hebrew, I will bring you on to do it, provided that you can tell me the difference between aspect, mood, tense, and you can tell me what a triconsonantal root is, how they function in syntax. Do those things, and then I will be interested to hear what you have to say about Kip Davis's Hebrew. So, Whispers Dash for $2 says, for the Frack Fund, unfortunately, they do have to be the $5 or above Whispers, so it didn't actually count.
Damn it.
Yeah. Metageeky Platypus Librarian says, regarding the thread, did you just abet Rocco's Basilisk? I might have. Yeah, look, here's the thing. I don't buy into the idea that, like, what if someday there's a boot so big that I have to start licking it now? Which is basically what Rocco's Basilisk is. I was like, I don't buy it. Sorry. It's like, but the recreation of you that Rocco's Basilisk could create, and like, well, that won't be me. So like, okay. Like sometime in the far future, someone might torture a clone of you. I'm like, well, that sucks, but can't do much about it now. Of course, this also would be very hard for me to stop or encourage or in any way hinder or otherwise affect the existence of Rocco's Basilisk in the future. So I think I'm okay anyway.
He morphed from a fish blob into some weird salamander, and then from that a monkey, and then from that a human.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to go ahead and say that if you think that a good summary of evolution is fish blob to salamander to monkey to human,
what's the famous and very accurate statement of evolution from? Is it from ooze to goo to the zoo?
You by the way of the zoo.
From goo to you by the way of the zoo.
Or by way of the zoo, I think. It's one of those.
Yeah. That's what's his name? Bergman. You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, it might be Bergman, but there's also a bunch of other creationists who've used it.
Boy. What's his first name?
What is Bergman's first name? He doesn't need a first name. It's fine.
It's right there. It's crazy. This drives me crazy when this
Jake Dapper Inside Joe Nelson for $5 says, for Kip. $5.
Yay.
And then for $10, Whispers Dash says, well, fine. This one's for the Frack Fund. All right, there we go.
Nice.
And so let's put just this. Okay, there we go. We got the tracker set up.
Like that, bro, to me, just seems like
Josh McGee's for $5 says, in the time of chimpanzees, I was a monkey. Well, now you're a goose. Pillpunk for $5 says, so far it's super fun to beat giants and bosses with bare hands, but I do find myself using using Dane's footwork over Daryl's arts because kicks give range. Yeah, I can see why you would want to get a little bit extra range. The martial arts in that game is just so short range, which I mean, it's reasonable, right? Couldn't really punch someone from 20 feet away, but like, ooh, you have to get in so
Thank
close,
you.
and it puts you so
Jerry
close.
Bergman.
Jerry is it? Rail got developed for $2 says, this sounds like Mr. Garrison describing evolution, which is ironic given that our fat guy also tried to use a Mr. Garrison avatar. So like maybe they're actually getting their understanding of evolution from the episode of South Park that was in large part about making fun of creationists. I would not actually put it past these two that is their main source of information about evolution. Is Mr. Garrison's talk. The episode in which, I guess it was Mrs. Garrison at the time. That was the episode in which Mrs. Garrison and Richard Dawkins become lovers.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It's
a fairy tale, like make-believe.
I gotta say, Charles Darwin, he doesn't seem that bright or intelligent because
you're not compared to Fat. But remember, Charles Darwin published numerous books and was a highly regarded naturalist both before and after the publication of The Origin of Species, whereas Fad is some asshole who keeps changing which version of AI Slop Dog with a crown he's using.
It's true, yes.
Pat is mad for $5 says, have you considered that Rocco's Basilisk is just tech bros reinventing the allegory of the cave? I want to sleep forever. I have considered that, and yeah. Tech bros love to invent things that have already been invented, and then give it a slick name, make it slightly worse, or a lot worse, and then bask in how smart they are.
It feels like it's almost always worse.
Yeah. Well, one of their things is they just hate people as a general rule, and so one of their big, like, things that they try to invent is just different ways to get what's done now with groups of people done less efficiently, but without having to interact with other people. So it's like, no. We don't want trains. We want pods that are individual and go on the rail. Like, so you don't get any of the economy of scale of hooking up all these cars to a main engine that's more efficient. No, you're just going to have them all be individually driven in the least efficient possible format. Yeah, that's what you want. Okay, cool. Way to reinvent trains in the worst way possible. It's like all the inefficiencies of cars, but none of the advantages of cars in that you can just pick where you're going. Philipunk for $2 says, to this guy, intelligence is just a vibe, I guess. That's often the case when it comes to people who don't know anything about what they're talking about. Intelligence is just a vibe you give off. Sounds smart and confident, and I guess that makes you smart and confident. Or at least smart. I guess you were always confident. I don't know.
I mean, he seems like an intelligent guy because he must have been the best salesman
like
of all
you,
time.
right, Fad?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because who the fuck would believe in this shit?
I mean, the entire scientific community. And when I say that, right?
And so many people who are not
in
the scientific community.
When I say the entire scientific community, what I mean is like this, right? If you get like a gold bar, it's going to have printed on it something like 99.9% fine or something like that, right? That means that they're guaranteeing you that 99.9% of this gold bar at least is actual gold. Is there going to be something else in there? Are there probably going to be some silicon atoms, some carbon atoms, some iron in there? Yeah, probably. Mm-hmm. But as far as for any practical purpose, this is a pure gold brick. That's what you got there. Yeah. That's what it is for the scientific community. The scientific community accepts evolution at well past a 99.9% rate. The fact that you can pull out a few dozen names is great. But here's another thing. If you want to, another way to look at this is, so there's a statement about skepticism about evolution that creationists love to talk around, right? And it's been signed by, I think, a few hundred people, or maybe even 1,000.
Was it like it was over 700 people? I think.
Yeah, maybe 700
at one point. Not sure if it's still going.
There's a few things. A number of people on that list of names have requested that their names be withdrawn That request has not been honored. So it's actually significantly smaller than you think. Also, some of the people there are not actually scientists. So, but even if we leave it at the 700 people, well, there's a lot who are. So even if we leave it at the full 700 whatever, Project Steve is a project that has a similar statement in favor of teaching evolution and in support of the accuracy of evolutionary theory while acknowledging that there's more to learn. And it has several times more signatures on it. And also, in order to sign it, you not only have to verifiably be a scientist working in a field relevant to evolution, but your name has to be etymologically related to the Greek term Stephanos, which means crown or laurel, which means you have to be named Steve, Stefan, Stephanie, something like that. So there are more scientists named Steve who accept evolution than there are creationist scientists total.
In total.
So,
plus a bunch of other random people who are cosplaying as scientists.
Yeah. And also people who signed that not knowing what it actually was and have since requested their names be removed. Yeah. So, like, when I say that who Darwin convinced was basically the scientific community at large, I'm not kidding. They remain convinced. Steve was chosen in order to honor the late Stephen Jay Gould, who was a prolific science communicator, many of whose ideas specifically about evolution actually turned out not to be true, but he was still a well-known and well-regarded communicator of scientific concepts around evolution. So, that is why.
Right?
Yeah.
Like imagine having all this shit explained to you.
Well, Darwin wouldn't have known about most of the stuff that's actually on screen. In fact, I think, let's see, how many steps below this would Darwin have first actually known about things? I think we would have to go to at least the first step that isn't on screen before Darwin would have ever heard of any of these groups of animals. And most of them still wouldn't be discovered until well after his death. So, like, some of the other groups that are in here include, like, Plesiodapis, which is standing in for the Plesiodapomorphs, and, like, he wouldn't have heard of that. He never heard of Jeremiah, which is one of our first Therian mammals.
I did my PhD working on Jeremiah.
This is a different. That's okay.
Sure.
He certainly wouldn't have heard of Australopithecus, Ardipithecus, Auroran, Ranopithecus, Proconsul, Egyptopithecus. I'm not sure about Carpolestes, but I don't think so. Let's see. He definitely hadn't heard of Tiktaalik. I don't think he'd heard of Pandrichthes.
I've heard of Tiktaalik.
It's very famous. He also probably would not have heard about protocells. So, like, yeah, most of this is after Darwin, and this is one of the things that creationists don't seem to understand. Science isn't a revealed religion like, say, Christianity or Islam, where there's a prophet who comes and tells you what the deal is, and then you have to listen to the prophet. Darwin wasn't a prophet of science. He was just a guy who figured some stuff out, got some other stuff wrong, and also there was a lot of stuff he didn't figure out and wouldn't have been able to figure out because he didn't have the technology to do it. So, yeah, calling it Darwin's theory is weird. It's like calling modern physics Newtonianism. I guess you could, but why would you? Most of modern physics would be unrecognizable and incomprehensible to Isaac Newton, who was too busy drinking mercury anyway to become a prophet. Which, by the way, I'm not a doctor, and this is not medical advice, but I'm pretty sure it's a bad idea to drink mercury. And if you were wondering about that, ask your actual doctor. And I'm very confident that your doctor will agree with me that mercury is not a thing to drink.
It's possible that if you are a trench coat full of weasels, you could get away with drinking mercury. But if you're a human being, then probably not.
I mean, look, I'm sure there's an amount of mercury that you could survive drinking, but just don't test it. Just don't.
You don't have to do that.
Yep. And if you want to have fun with liquid metal, just get some gallium mildly warm. It's much, much safer than mercury, and it melts at, like, I think it's like just over room temperature. I think, like, in Fahrenheit, it's got a similar melting point to chocolate, as far as I remember, which means if you hold it in your hand, it will melt in your hand.
I'm really hungry.
Yeah. I've also seen someone chew gallium like gum. That was weird.
That's, wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is weird.
I don't recommend doing that.
You know, I grew up on the prairies, and we used to do that with weed stalks.
seems safer. But
Much safer,
one thing you
actually.
could do with gallium is you could make a spoon out of it and then give it to someone to stir their tea with, and then it will melt into their tea.
That.
And it won't dissolve into the
Point.
tea because it's not miscible with water, but it will just form a little pool
Right.
of gallium at the bottom of their teacup. And then just
That
have
is
no
interesting.
spoon. Let's see, I think I've missed one thing. Yeah, Tatisman for $5 says, and Stephen Jay Gould is often misquoted by Creationists. He sure is. He's been spinning in his grave so long, I think he's legally a bodega hot dog now. Which also tells me that Tad is mad. It's from somewhere in like the New York area, because that's pretty much the only place, at least in like the English-speaking world, where bodega is a common term.
Yeah, dude. Like apparently he came to this.
Isn't it indium that
There
can be
is
chewed
no
like gum?
spoon.
Babatan, you might be right about that. I could be very wrong about it being gallium, because that actually does make more sense, because gallium would melt as you're chewing. So yeah, I think it might have been indium.
Conclusion from studying finches in the Galapagos Islands. So like that's
okay. This actually is not Soper Fad's fault here. This is something that I have as a problem with like how we talk about evolution in terms of pedagogy as a whole, right? Because while Darwin used the finches as a great illustration in his book, they are far from like the thing that got him to start thinking about natural selection and whatnot. It was a whole host of things, which included the patterns of like which organisms lived on islands versus the mainland. But there was also a lot of observations he made all over the world. Because remember, this was a 5-year worldwide journey of survey, exploration, and whatnot that was undertaken for the British Crown so that they could have more information about what's out there in the world. Which, was see where they wanted to go conquer and kill a bunch of people. So I'm not pretending that this is some great, like, humanitarian effort. But still, this was a mission primarily to go discover things, and Darwin took notes and samples of organisms from all over the world, and that is what gave him these ideas. It was not just the finches. The finches were just easy to understand, and he used them as an example. But the way that we talk about it now does seem to get people to think that it was the finches that convinced him, which is not true. In fact, he didn't really fully put together his ideas about natural selection until after he got back from the voyage.
Many years after, I think.
Well, he certainly didn't publish until like 20 years after.
Right. Yeah.
But he was putting those ideas together. He did start having some of those ideas while on the voyage, but he didn't really collect them into a coherent hypothesis until well after. And it was even longer until he published. Jake Dapper Inside Joke Nelson for $5 says, AIG is a bag of bodega hot dogs.
Bodega hot dogs. Very nice.
Now I want a hot dog. Jeez.
I'm so hungry.
You know what I'm probably going to have instead?
What?
Pita and hummus. It's good stuff.
I have pasta left over, but I ate all the chicken.
Remember that time, Kip, that you said that you thought at first that maybe I was from the Middle East?
Yes.
I'm not beating those charges with my planned next meal of pita and hummus.
You are often not.
Yeah.
You are often not. So, your familiarity with Arabic and with Islam, as we discussed, right?
Mm-hmm.
And and your Mediterranean food choices very often.
I also have a lot of East. There's often like ramen or rice and fish or something like that. So yeah, my food choices seem to they center around 3 locations, like the Eastern Mediterranean, Latin America, and East Asia. That's often where my food...
all very, very good places.
Oh yeah. Very different places, but also very good.
Very different. I probably have to go grocery shopping this afternoon, which is unfortunate. So yeah, circumstances have.
Do you have that?
Yeah, we do, but so here's the thing, right?
Okay.
Circumstances in my life have changed to in the effect that now I have to do all the grocery shopping where I once didn't. And so this is all kind of new to me, having to actually, because usually it just but when there was food and I would cook and eat it, but now I am actually responsible for getting the food into the house somehow. And I know there's apps for that, but there's like a whole sign up thing and it just, it's all new, and I'm 52 years old, and these things are always uncomfortable. So I probably won't. And I'll tell you this. The other thing too is every time that we have had grocery deliveries, they always mess something up. So,
Yeah, that is pretty.
Yeah.
By the way,
I mean, it's usually not. It doesn't bother me that much usually, but now it feels like that I am much more invested in what food actually gets to the house. That this is more of a big deal to me.
By the way, someone said Dapper needs more rice. I do not need more rice. However, if you do want to get me food, there is a wish list, and it has edamame. It has multiple versions of ramen. It has granola bars. It's got glass noodles, Korean style glass noodles, which I really like. It's got freeze dried ice cream, like astronaut ice cream. So yeah, there's some Japanese tea in cans that I rather like. I think there's also some Australian ginger beer. So there's corned beef in cans. I think there might even be some bread in cans. There's let's see. There's some like jerky. So like yeah, if you want, there's some candy. So yeah, if you want to get me a snack, feel free. But I currently have, I think, about just over 50 pounds of dry rice.
That's a lot.
Don't need more,
dude. That is a lot.
Yeah.
Even for a dinosaur,
yeah.
I feel like that's a lot.
I mean, I do eat rice most days, and I found out apparently that about 20% of calories consumed by humans around the world are in the form of rice.
That's probably the most of all the individual things that are consumed.
Oh, Roshan, you said corned beef. It's corned beef hash. I'm sorry, I forgot to put that hash part in there. Because look, I like a nice corned beef hash, although it takes forever to actually get the nice crispy.
Hey, did I told you about the Wahlburger that I enjoyed at the airport?
You did
on the way home, didn't I? Yes, I had a pepperoni smash burger.
It does sound really good.
It was really good. It really was.
Katie Lewis says,
I'd never heard of Wahlburgers before.
I don't think they're like super widespread even in the US.
But of course they're in Boston.
Yeah. Katie Lewis says canned corned beef is a thing. Yes, but this is not just canned corned beef. It's canned corned beef hash. So there are also chunks of potato. Because potato is one of the most perfect of all the foods.
Yeah, my stepfather would agree with you.
Well, your stepfather sounds like a smart guy. Unlike Fad here. He's almost certainly smarter than Fad.
Fair. Yeah. God, now you put me in an awkward position.
Theory of evolution. He sailed on his voyage from around. I'll show you a picture, guys. Most of you might know.
Oh, okay. We're going to see a picture of Darwin's voyage, I guess. Hello,
Charles Darwin wasn't even a productive guy in his fucking adult life.
I'm going to point out that this good Christian stream has far more F-bomb drops than Kip normally does in an entire stream where he's unleashed.
It's very true. It feels incredibly unfair.
Yeah, it is unfair. I'm not going to pretend otherwise. But hey, you know what? If we get 6 more super chats that are $5 or above, you can just drop it as many times as you want. So, you better hope that the benevolence of the audience shines upon you.
Video's 2 minutes. This video here I'm about to show is like 2 minutes long, and it's probably made.
We're getting to the video now.
So
yeah, they do have a bit of a video.
Paint a pretty picture of old Charlie. But let's see what they say in this 2-minute video.
Is this the AI Slop video?
No, this I believe is an actual from a documentary.
Biography.
Okay.
Yeah, Dutch Speaking Official says they swear a lot for young Earth creationists. Yeah, so this is that weird corner of evangelical YouTube where what's more important is not actually any kind of ethical teaching or anything. It's just an excuse to be a toxic asshole to as many people as possible, and using a Christian identity as a way to figure out which groups are valid targets for your assholery.
Yeah. It's it feels like that's a sizable group Certainly here on YouTube.
It's certainly a
says
phenomenon
wonder
online.
these
And it's
days.
also not restricted to
Yeah.
evangelical groups. There are also tradcath groups that do this.
Oh, yes.
And
yes.
also
Lots of Eastern Orthodox
Ortho bros. Which,
assholes.
interestingly, it's almost all converts to Eastern Orthodoxy.
Right.
Actual people
Yes.
who grew up as Eastern Orthodox are usually just like either like one, I don't care, or they're like, I'm busy, like, trying to take care of like my family and loved ones and go to church, and I'm baking some bread for the next church service, or we're doing community stuff together and like not just trying to be an asshole on the internet.
That is a fine observation.
Yeah. Although I also want to say I've met many wonderful Eastern Orthodox converts who were not just being assholes online, and who were trying to do this as like, I'm here, I'm having a community, I'm, trying to live my best life and
just live my life.
Right. So but yeah, there's a certain almost always male demographic of both Tradcath and Eastern Orthodox converts and evangelicals who just use that religious affiliation as an excuse to be the biggest assholes possible. And
it's a feature, not a bug. I'm out of coffee.
Oh no. We'll take a quick break. You can get some coffee, and then we'll be right back with Kip with coffee so that he doesn't fall asleep from undercaffeination. And in the meantime, if we got 6 more super chats, he could drop as many F-bombs as Fat here.
I mean, theoretically.
And I'll drop a Steam key for Total War Warhammer 3. So there's that. I got a Steam key recently for a game I already have. Because, if I didn't have Total War Warhammer 3, I would have used that Steam key myself.
Go get my coffee at some point.
You just go do whatever you want. I don't care.
Really? Okay, fine. I'm going.
Bye.
Captain's Log, Stardate 60584.4. Starfleet Command just issued revised navigational data for the sector. The recent destruction of the Amargosa star has caused fluctuations to the ambient magnetic field, requiring minor adjustments to the warp engines and navigational systems. Engineering assures me that making these alterations to the ship's systems will have minimal impact on efficiency. More importantly, we recently received a message from Narendra that a runabout called the Susquehanna has gone missing in the Carnia Nebula, deep within the Shackleton Expanse. The Susquehanna was investigating an unusual alien signal that originated from the nebula when all contact was lost. We have been ordered to enter the nebula, find the runabout, and determine the origin and cause of the alien signal. Starfleet has also advised that Romulan and Ferengi ships have been sighted in the region, so we should exercise caution since they likely detected the alien signal as well. We've been carefully searching the nebula for several hours, but finding the missing runabout has turned out to be an excruciating process. Sensors are extremely limited due to the effect of the nebula, making the odds of finding the runabout slim. We have, however, located the source of the alien signal, a small dusty planet called Seku 6. We've set course for the Seku system in hopes of finding the missing runabout.
All right, we are back. I am back with Kip, of course.
I am here.
Yes. And we're only 2 super chats away from you being able to drop all the F-bombs. But we have to read a few. Josh McGee's for $5 says, +1 coffee, giver of life, or at least caffeine. Good stuff.
So I mean, I still have a comically large bottle of Crown Royal. So I added a little bit to my coffee here. Yeah.
Jason Ross 3657 for $5 says, I give in to extortion for freedom of speech. Thank you. I appreciate it. The Rom to put says bandwagon. And then Jake, Dapper Inside Joke Nelson, Dapper Inside Joke here. Nelson for $5 says, here's $5 to free Kip and for Dapper for not knowing Beastie Boys or Beck. WTF.
Like that is seriously F-bomb worthy. Like, is this true? You don't know the Beastie Boys.
I mean, I am aware of the Beastie Boys. I don't think I could recognize all of their lyrics.
Incredible, boy.
Just Tunicate Official for $5 says, "Are they?"
I guess you are a little bit younger than I am.
No, I'm much older.
Oh, okay. Then even where were you? Where were you?
That's top secret. The USGS would have to send their kill squads after you. But there's a question on the table from Dutch Tunicate Official for $5. Parlez-vous français, Kip?
No.
But I thought you were leading field play.
My French is extremely poor. So
what you're saying is that when I do my reading French show, I shouldn't invite you on.
No, please don't.
Okay.
Maybe I'll watch and that'll help me. I mean, okay. I still have to slog my way through French academic literature from time to time because, the first lots of the first scholars who worked on the Dead Sea Scrolls were also French Dominican monks at the École Biblique in East Jerusalem. So they have this annoying habit of writing in
their
French.
native language.
Yes, it's
how dare
problematic. So,
yeah, it's just like all those biblical authors were writing in Hebrew, their native language. What jerks!
It's true.
How dare they? They should write in God's language, English.
It was very inconsiderate. So
look, if it was good enough for St. Paul, it's good enough for me. King James only.
That's right. So, see, this is like when I arrived in Manchester. This is the dirty secret about a lot of Canadian education. When I arrived in Manchester, my supervisor was kind of going over some of my CV and the things that I wanted to do in my project. We're sort of starting to map things out, right? And in the UK system, the way it works is if you have shortfalls or if you have things that you need to do, because there's no assigned coursework, but if there's things that you need in order to complete your project, you just sign up for them and you do them. So as we're going through it, he's like, your Hebrew's fine, your Greek is fine, your Aramaic is good, it's German's okay, I assume, and he's like, and you're Canadian, so I assume your French is really good too. So ooh. I'm like,
yeah, well, sure, obviously.
Here's the truth. I did French because I grew up in Calgary, and they just don't care at all in most of Western Canada. It gets a little bit. French is interesting in Canada where there's a strong concentration on the East Coast and of course in Quebec and still throughout a lot of Ontario that starts to dilute considerably by the time you get to Manitoba. And then when you're in Saskatchewan and Alberta, it's like it's almost a point of pride if you can demonstrate your ignorance of French. and then it starts to creep up a little bit when you get closer to the West Coast. So that's where I grew up, and we did French in elementary school and I believe was still a requirement. Wow, that's 10 Dapper Dinosaur memberships.
Yeah.
That's very nice, Regios.
I just gonna say I'm a little disappointed because the only French I ever took was 4 years of French in high school, and that still leaves me with more French knowledge than you have.
Right? Like we did elementary school and got to, by the time I was in grade 8, I think, was the last year anybody required it. I did no French in high school. So yeah, that was the truth I had to, through some embarrassment share with my doctor father was, sorry, I'm actually gonna have to bone up on my French a little bit here.
My brother, not the one who just recently got married, took Spanish in the same high school that I went to, and I've never taken.
Is he the
Spanish
cool
class.
one?
Sure, he's the one who's been on the channel. But
wow, cool. Yeah. That is cool.
Yeah. So he's taken more Spanish than I have, and I still do better at Spanish than he. So it's weird. Maybe I understand why some people might erroneously think that I'm a Jake Dapper inside joke here. Nelson for $5 says, "Kip, wasn't Torah originally in Greek? LOL."
So which, by the way, is what I've been.
You're now unleashed. You can drop the F-bombs.
Oh, fuck yeah!
And while you go on about that, I'll take those 10 drinks for Regios gifting 10 Dapper Dinosaur memberships. Thank you.
So this is one of the stupidest things that continues to have legs on the internet, and it's in this world. There's this strange, this very strange world that persists in online and social media spaces of so-called skeptic and atheist activists, whereby seemingly academic positions get promoted with tremendous vigor on the basis of their what is a perceived academic rigor, when in all truth is just fucking bullshit. And this is one of them. It's one of the dumbest ideas that's ever been propagated. To have it just persists in a complete vacuum of evidence, and when presented actual evidence to the contrary, somehow continues to make its way in this world. There are still people who comment regularly on my channel and are serious about this, and it's beyond me.
Yeah,
I just don't. Yeah.
My Unfinished Sock, who's been a member for 7 months and is at the amniote level, says, "Don't be an oddly sweary young Earth creationist. Like and share the stream instead." And I agree.
Absolutely.
Speaking of which,
let me change my audio so I don't have an echo.
No,
it's a wax statue.
It didn't sound bad.
Look, I think that's I don't know. It's hard to
Charles
tell.
Darwin was a British naturalist.
Oh, it is a wax statue.
Yep.
Where is that?
I don't know.
Is he sitting on a saddle?
Yes. That is what's happening.
What is this?
I have no idea why this is a thing. This confuses me.
In his lifetime, people still...
No, he's sitting on a...
No, he's sitting on a... Oh my god!
That's a tortoise. Okay. Sure,
What are we... Wow! This is that's something.
Sure is.
Boy.
That is a thing that apparently exists.
Now I desperately need to know where this is.
Do
you think this could be at Madame Tussauds in Victoria?
Possibly.
I mean, they do a lot of wacky shit there.
Yep.
Variety of creatures on Earth were created by God.
Oh, they were.
Darwin, however, realized that species adapt to their environment, and that this gives rise to subspecies of which only the best suited survive.
I thought so. Okay. For a second, I see now that this is Charles Darwin working working on his on his notes
Mhm.
in the HMS Beagle while traveling.
Yes.
But I started actually when it was on the close up before it got all the way out. I was thinking that this was live or recorded footage from Charles Darwin's funeral, resting in his casket.
No. Also, I
Yeah,
forgot. I am going to drop a Steam key right now. Here's the deal. If you try to use it, you got to tell me whether or not you got it and whether or not
Oh.
you got it, right? Now you do not
Jillian.
have to
Sorry.
have you do not have to have super chatted or be a member or be a patron or anything. Just have to be quick. Now this is a Steam key for Total War Warhammer 3.
Quick.
And here we go. Just dropped it in chat.
So if Usain Bolt is in the audience, this is the challenge for you. It's got your name on it.
By the time you finish that sentence,
Jillian.
it was already almost certainly too late.
Way to go, Usain. Jillian, let's go. We absolutely need to go to Modern Tussauds in Victoria, and Pat Lawinger could come along, and that could be fun. Let's do it.
Also, Arrow Dodger says that he got it, so congratulations.
Oh,
there we go.
Way to go. You are quick.
Darwin took a research trip to the Galapagos Islands on the vessel HMS Beagle. From his observations on this trip, he formulated his theory of evolution. Darwin's great-great-great-grandson has done extensive research.
Okay, so he took a boat trip to the Galapagos Islands.
Well, no, it was around the world. It was all over the place, but that was one of the spots. Yep. So he did take a boat trip for 5 years.
It was a circumnavigation, wasn't it?
Yeah, basically.
So they went to all the places.
Yeah, they went to Africa, they went to South America, they went to various Pacific islands, they went to parts of Southeast Asia, all over the place.
And that's where he came up with his whole theory of evolution. From looking at
it's because of the different beaks and the different creatures he saw.
So
different size beaks on.
It's interesting. It's interesting always when people, when fuckwits like this think that what is really the problem with evolution is the lack of data and the limitations on that. It's just the most delicious form of projection. I get this in my field too. Very often, critics of elements like serious fields of biblical scholarship will just respond, yeah, but they're just focused on this. They just have no idea. They have no fucking idea.
Also, Right-Handed Sith says it was a ship, not a boat. That's true. However, I find that people who don't have any experience, like sailing the ocean, don't generally know the difference between a ship and a boat.
I do not.
Okay.
And I'm happy to learn.
So a ship is a water-going vessel that can do long-term trips at sea without direct support from anything, whereas a boat is a small vessel that can only make very short journeys without support. So you would take
people sail around, like people will cross oceans in like some pretty small.
Yep, and those are ships.
Craft.
But if you were to take a lifeboat, you're not going to go. They're often called sailboats, but if they're well supplied and big enough to go across an ocean, that's a ship, regardless of the fact that you might call it a sailboat.
Really? Okay. Interesting.
Now, the size of what can count as a ship has shrunk as things like food storage technology has gotten better and desalination has gotten better.
Yes.
So there is that.
Yeah.
Josh Beast also just gifted 5 Dapper Dinosaur memberships. Thank you very much. So 5 drinks for that, while Kip talks about all of his experiences sailing on the open ocean.
Oh, listen, I have some because my in-laws used to own a sailboat. And so we used to go sailing quite a bit. I enjoy sailing quite a lot actually. I haven't done it for ages and ages, but they sold the sailboat, and then my brother-in-law had one for a while, and we actually had we had a really fun holiday. This was like 20 years ago, but we had a really fun holiday where we slept on the boat, just in like one of the small islands that's right next to where the right next to Shorts Bay, where the ferry between Victoria and Vancouver, technically not actually those places, but it's the way that you go
Right.
to get from Vancouver to Victoria. So but the small little island pretty close to Shorts Bay where the ferries come and go, and we spent a few days there just moored off the island. It was wonderful. It was great.
Nice.
So yeah, but it was funny because we had pulled into an inlet that was quite close inland, and we're there for 2 days, and then on the third day, the sail ship started the sailing boat, I guess, started making some noise, and we discovered that with the tide had dropped so much that the keel actually
Scraping?
got grounded between a couple of rocks down there.
Ooh.
We're fortunate because the way this works, right, is the tide comes up, so it was good. But
Tide goes in, tide goes out. You can't explain
yeah.
that. Never a miscommunication.
No, I never. So yeah.
Which is possibly the worst argument for the existence of God I've ever heard.
I've never heard that one.
That was Bill O'Reilly, and he was interviewing.
Oh yes, yes.
I don't even remember what it was. It was some guy who's I think now largely been chased out of like the atheist community because he turned out to be like a weirdo. But
like all of them, right?
Yeah,
They're all
it turns out there's a lot of that happens. I think part of it is like places of prominence and power attract a lot of weirdos. Because it's not like it's just atheists. It happens in Christian groups. It happens all over the place. But anyway, yeah, he was like trying to argue in favor of God, and he was like, "Well, you can't explain everything. Look, tide comes in, times goes out. Never a miscommunication. You can't explain that." And the guy's just like, you can just see him like the wheels are turning, and he's just thinking like, "You mean like gravity and the moon?" And it's just like, wow, okay, thanks, Bill.
On Finchbirds. So you're telling me that right there is where he got his whole theory of evolution.
Okay. First, I'm not telling you that. No one's telling you that. But even if even if they were telling you that, and even if it were true, where he came up with it wouldn't matter. Like the guy who figured out that benzene was a ring of carbon atoms.
Works.
You know where he got that idea? Yeah. You know where the guy who invented or who figured out what the shape of benzene is? Where he got that idea?
From Charles Darwin.
No, he got it in a fucking dream.
Wow, that's incredible.
He was like, "Huh, that dream reminds me of the possible structure for benzene. What if we tested that?" And it was right.
It probably wasn't a dream about having unmanageably long hair.
No, apparently it was a dream about a snake eating itself.
That's cool.
Yeah, and it was like, that's a ring. Maybe we should check for that shape. And then, it turns out, sure, that was right.
Wild.
It doesn't matter where a theory or a hypothesis comes from. It matters whether or not the evidence supports it or contradicts it. So
it was David Silverman, by the way, Babatond.
Okay.
Got this, yeah.
Okay. So David,
I remember that now.
Also, Alfred Russel Wallace, who independently came up with the idea of natural selection, got it through mostly mysticism. Doesn't matter.
No kidding.
Yeah.
That's neat.
Yep.
Wow.
It was basically like he was like inspired by his mystical like meditations on like the meaning of nature and shit. Like, okay, cool. Doesn't matter. He was right.
And there are people in the modern world today who will tell you that stuff is just not good for anything.
Wow. I mean, it's certainly good. It can certainly be good for your mental health, and sometimes it lets you come up with cool ideas.
Exactly.
And you know what? We need lots of ideas because most of them are going to be wrong, but some of them won't be.
Some of them are probably right.
Yeah.
By the way, one of my favorite songs from Rammstein is Benzene. If you've heard it, So.
And like people might see this video, and I'm sure it's after it uploads, we're gonna get a real whole bunch of really smart atheists that are going to be laughing at us dumb creationists.
I think he's talking about you, Kip.
But where's the proof, bro?
Yeah, I mean, to some extent, yeah. Yeah. Imagine thinking to yourself, after this video is uploaded, someone's probably going to ask me why they should believe the things I'm saying. And that's bad. Okay.
Yeah.
Where is the proof that
Welcome
Darwin
to the internet.
Yeah.
Where's the proof that any evolutionist has that we morphed into a species from another species?
I mean, speciation is something that is observed to happen in real time, in real life. It's like asking, where's the proof that water falls from the sky in this form you call rain? It's like, I don't know, you just go look outside and experience it sometimes. You can just do it.
All of this would just sound even dramatically his incredulity would sound even dramatically less convincing than it already is if they didn't also just caricature evolution in their explanation of it. Like if you can actually get it right in your attempts to refute or reject or critique it, I'm guessing that most people would who don't know any better would go, yeah, sounds like you're full of bullshit.
Yeah. Well, one of the things about when you're trying to critique someone is if you can't adequately explain what their position is, then you can't actually critique it, because what you're critiquing isn't their actual position. It's going to be a straw man. Jack and our painting, I think, says there is a quote from Orson Scott Card's Xenocide. It starts, "Earthborn animals do this thing inside their brains. I highly recommend." I have not read Xenocide. I've read Ender's Game, but I have not read Xenocide. Have you read Xenocide, Kip?
No.
Have you read Ender's Game, Kip?
No.
Have you seen Ender's Game, Kip?
Mm-mm.
You should put the StreamYard's link in the side chat.
I was but you've not seen The Americans.
I mean, I've seen many Americans.
No. You didn't watch the show The Americans.
That's true.
And you should, because it's fucking great.
Oh, Mothra came by. Drink from Mothra.
Oh, there we go. It's a I think it was 5 seasons, but it takes place in the 1980s, which is always cool. And is that what you're saying?
It says it's coming back.
Oh, wow. Weird.
Give it a second.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh,
I don't remember.
I think we're back. I'm sorry about OBS.
I don't remember that happening on your channel before.
Yeah, I had no connection. Oh, and here it's going again.
Wow. Okay.
We're kind of back.
Are we kind of back? Okay. No, dear. Yeah, how could this happen?
Yikes.
Oh no.
Yikes.
Real Fearmonger says we're back, but other people say we're not.
We're in and out.
Wow, that's too bad, actually. But
I think we're back.
I think we're back. Like I said, it looks okay to me. So anyways, it's got Carrie-Anne Moss in it and Matthew Rhys. I don't know if he's phenomenal. She really is too. But I was telling you that when I was on the flight to and from Boston, I got into this new series on Netflix called The Beast in Me, in which he plays a very wealthy serial killer, and it's pretty great. So check it out, everyone. If you haven't watched The Americans, I don't know what the fuck you're doing. So watch The Americans. It's on FX, and then you should absolutely watch The Beast in Me with Claire Danes and Matthew Reese.
You know what I've heard is actually YouTube will sometimes throttle streams that don't get enough gifted memberships. I've heard that.
That sounds credible to me.
Yeah.
So that's probably why my streams get throttled
Yeah.
a lot. It has nothing to do with the cost of memberships on my channel, I'm sure. But it's yeah. Oh, Jonathan Banks is in it as well. You know him, right? He's you watched Breaking Bad.
Are you talking to me?
I am talking to you. Who else would I be talking to?
Well, I thought you said a name, and then I was like, well, maybe he's not talking to me.
No. Didn't you watch Breaking Bad?
I've seen some Breaking Bad. I've not watched all of it.
Oh my god, you haven't watched Breaking Bad?
Not all of it, no.
Are you serious?
Yes.
How have you not watched Breaking Bad?
Because I was busy watching horror movies.
Good lord.
I'm playing video games.
Insane.
You know what's above you is gameplay
Claude.
capture of a video game, right?
Holy cow. We need to do that. I wonder if Fish has watched Breaking Bad, but we need to watch Breaking Bad.
Okay.
I
mean, apparently we also need to watch The Dark Crystal, because apparently
Carrie Russell,
you guys don't
thank you.
remember that.
My unfinished song. It was Carrie Russell, not Carrie Ann Moss. I got that wrong.
Oh, that's a different
and
person
yeah,
entirely.
I did watch part of the first season of The Diplomat. Should I continue watching The Diplomat? Chat? I won't ask Dapper because he's good for fucking nothing. So
I have also not seen The Diplomat, so I can't answer. Yeah. If it's not sci-fi or horror, there's a pretty good chance I just haven't seen it. I'll be honest.
Oh, okay. See, that's probably it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And I've seen way too much horror. There are times when I'm just like, you know what, I'm going to find a bad horror movie and just watch it. And I do, because there's so many of them.
Horror movies are awesome.
Horror movies are awesome. However, there's a lot of really bad ones because horror movies are usually relatively inexpensive. Like, it doesn't take that much to get a slasher villain, right, in terms of cost.
No.
Right? You just get a basic costume. It's just a guy, and you put some blood on him or something, fake blood. And there you go. You got your slasher villain. And then you can just film it wherever. I'm going to hit play.
I will say, I mean, I'm seeing a couple of these things in the chat here where people haven't watched Breaking Bad, and I'm serious. Like, I don't know what you're doing with your life, because just from the standpoint of enjoying art and great entertainment, I don't care what genre of entertainment you're into, Breaking Bad might be the perfect television show. Just in terms of the setup, the plot, the acting, and the conclusion. Because one of the problems we have in modern television history is that producers land on a good idea and then they milk it way too long and kill it. And you know, Breaking Bad just it's perfect. So yeah.
Vandalian 1998 says, do we drink for the internet being a professional? No, we only drink when I'm a professional.
What are they going to say? Oh, well, if you just wait like billions of years, you'll...
No, you can wait like 2 or 3 years, depending on the species in question.
See it. They're going to laugh and go, of course there's no proof because not enough time has gone by.
No.
Well...
I love this like imagination of what a quote-unquote atheist evolutionist will say, but which I'm just going to say like someone who accepts science and knows what they're talking about in terms of biology. And the answer is no, like, look, I can give you multiple papers showing observed instances of speciation. So if your standard is, well, I don't think species go from one species to another. One, I'm going to point out, most creationist organizations say you're wrong. Most creationist organizations accept the bare existence of speciation. But two, I mean, it's been observed in plants, bacteria, animals. I don't know about fungi, but like it's been observed all over the place in real time, in real life, both in labs and in the wild. Speciation just happens all the time.
You know, they literally did like experiments where they put like different bacterias and stuff in the lab, and they grew like 40 or 50,000 because a generation of these bacteria is super short. So they could watch like 50,000 generations of these bacteria live and die. And not one time, bro. Not one freaking time. Yeah, there were some mutations. There were some genetic mutations that evolutionists say lead to evolution. but not one time were any of
lead
those within
to
50,000
evolution.
generations were any of those mutations beneficial.
Okay, well, so
Oh
there's
my
a few
god,
things.
that's just
One, that's not at
objectively
all true.
false.
Yeah, like there are observed beneficial mutations. In fact, the Lenski long-term E. coli experiment has
Right.
seen
Yeah.
sustained fitness growth over tens of thousands of generations. So fitness has in fact increased over that time. Second, in terms of actually observing speciation, I would argue that the Lenski long-term E. coli experiment has in fact observed speciation, because one of the diagnostic criteria for being E. coli, one of the ways that you check to see is this bacterium E. coli, is you see if it can metabolize citrate in the presence of oxygen. And if the answer is no, then you get to check off that box in terms of it being E. coli.
Yeah.
But some strains of the bacteria in that experiment, no longer can you check that box off. They can, in fact, metabolize citrate in the presence of oxygen, which means that they no longer meet the normal definition for E. coli, which means that if you were to find them in the wild, you would not count them as the same species. You would give them a different designation. So, yeah.
Yeah, my unfinished song has asked me to compare and contrast Breaking Bad and The Shield, and I will say that some of the things that Breaking Bad really has going for it is just the absurdity inserted into the narrative, which is just excellent. Also, there were as edgy and gritty and progressive as The Shield was for its time. There were still limits that I feel like Breaking Bad didn't have to confront. And I do get, when it comes to older TV shows, I don't know what to tell you. Breaking Bad was filmed almost entirely in like 1080p, and that certainly makes it much more viewable than The Shield ever was, unfortunately. So,
all right, we're gonna get a little bit more in, and we're gonna start wrapping things.
They were all weird mutations or cancer or something. None of it was beneficial.
Bacteria can't get cancer, by the way, because that doesn't mean anything. Cancer is when one of the body cells of a multicellular organism mutates in a way that it just starts reproducing over and over again. That's just the natural state for bacteria. So, yeah, bacteria can't get cancer. That's not a meaningful thing.
Wow.
Yeah. Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Beneficial.
No.
And in every mutation, it lost information. So that.
Well, okay. What does that mean? Because creationists love to say, well, this is a mutation that lost information. What does that mean? What was the information specifically that was lost? How would you tell if a mutation caused a gain of information? And they don't have answers to those questions. So whenever a creationist says, oh, well, this gained or lost information, until they can give you a way to define information such that you can actually measure it and tell whether or not objectively an organism has more or less than another organism, what they're saying doesn't mean anything. It's not important. It's just weasel words to get out of the fact that mutations occur, are beneficial, and fix in population.
That's 100% true. By the way, Metageeky Platypus Librarian, about The Shield and the commish. So I might have said this on this channel before, but I took Introduction to Biology in university, and I actually did a course in microbiology as well, which was super fun in my undergrad. But I don't think I really got it until, and I don't remember if this happened before or after I took. I think it actually happened after I took my intro courses. But the Howard Hughes Medical Institute, I think is what it was called, the HHMI, was a big philanthropic outfit, and they used to make like educational materials and would give them to you for free, so you could like sign up for an email newsletter, and they would send you like free DVDs of like scientists giving lectures and explaining, their work. And it was really through watching these that I think all the lights went on when it came to understanding evolution and how it works and why scientists find it so convincing and compelling. But it was in one of those, and I wish I could remember who it was, but one of the lecturers talked about the sorts of genetic experiments that they do on like fruit flies and other tiny animals and insects, in terms of just switching on off and on individual genes to affect change in the organism, which was super compelling to me in terms of just convincing me even further that this is just robust science.
All right, Kip, we're going to start wrapping up. So you have 1 minute to tell people what you have coming up. Go.
Budget Scripture Saturday is tonight at 7 o'clock Pacific, 10 o'clock Eastern. It's me, it's Nitty, it's the weasels in a trench coat hanging out and watching fucking terrible Bible videos and drinking a lot. And smoking a lot too. Tap likes to smoke. So it's a good time. Come and check it out. And then I will be back on Thursday, next week on Thursday evening at 5 o'clock Pacific, 8 o'clock Eastern, to read Hebrew with Jordan Jones from the Bible and Archaeology. It's going to be a good time. And we will do a live stream on Friday. And I expect to be finishing up the audio for the book, maybe even by the end of this week. And it should be available within days after that.
All right. Well, that was it for Kip. Thank you very much, Kip. Vandalian 1998 for $1.99 says, at least they didn't do the there's still bacteria route. Yeah, well, they haven't done it yet. So let's see what's coming up on my channel. So the first thing that's coming up, actually not on my channel, is over on Chesh's channel at 6:15 Pacific, 9:15 Eastern. I'm going to be doing her debate pub. So that's basically a news, current events kind of thing. Then also after this show, we're doing Godzilla versus Space Godzilla over on the Discord. But then what's going to be coming up is on Tuesday, we got Kent with Bent 175, The Legend of Hovend, a link to the dumb, as what I've titled it. Then on Thursday at 11 a.m. Pacific, p.m. Eastern, we've got Evolutionists Don't Want You to Know These Weird Tricks, World of Tomorrow Part 2. Then on Friday, we're going to try to do Star Trek again. I've got more confirmations. More people seem to be good to go. We missed this past Friday because someone slept in and didn't set an alarm. Want to find out who? Go watch the stream on Top Hats Off from yesterday. Because he
slept in?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. He showed up like 20 minutes late after we were supposed to start.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
He's like, wait, did I ruin it? And I was like, yup, you did.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So then on Saturday, I'm going to be
a fireable offense.
Basically. On Saturday, we'll be back here. Hopefully Vishanti will join us. Kip, are you going to be joining us?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, there you go. That's what we've got for the next week coming up here. So thank you very much for coming along. Thank you very much for all the super chats, all the memberships. They really do help a lot. The channel does depend on your direct support to continue to exist. So every time you do that, it really does help. November has been kind of cursed, and I'm ready to be done with it. Don't get me wrong, the wedding wasn't very nice that I went to. A lot of fun hanging out with family. But overall, November has been just an absurdly cursed, awful month. And I'm hoping that December turns out to be a little bit better. So, with that being said, the only thing I have left is, furthermore, ICE must be abolished. And we'll talk to y'all later. Hey, before you leave, I just want to take a second to thank my patrons and channel members, especially those pledging $20 or above. Ben Tovand, Tapioca Weasel, Sphincter of Doom, Regios, Landon Knoll, Ian Chen, Eleron Teller, Phil Rivera, Kelvin Rostick Van Manen, David Hercules, Joshua Geese, Vollus, Dan Sheedy, Pega Jace, The Plastic Mouse, Arrow Dodger, Gordon Love Science, Amber Athelian, Pixie Purple, Agricola Sequa, Max Cherry, North Texas Fossils, and John Ackerman. It's because of my channel members and patrons whom you're seeing on screen that this channel can stay afloat. Without you, it would all shut down. If you want to join the team, there's a link to join the channel below this video, and there's a link to join the Patreon in the description. On the Patreon, you can get a 15% discount for pledging annually, and either way, you get early access to virtually all of my scripted videos months before they come out for the general public. Thanks for watching.